I do my eyes like that because the Wi-Fi went away and I was rolling. Okay, so whoever did not attend or just joined in just a second ago, thank y'all for coming back. The Wi-Fi went out and talking about I didn't have any service, and I did. I told y'all about that in one of my other videos. Got to stay somewhere where you stay connected. So you can't do all this moving around. We already talked about that. Anyway, again, for the new people, this is your girl Princess with the Truth Tells Her video, and I'm gonna try to speed this along. What I was saying was, you know, if there's something that you have that you're responsible for, that, hey Tyrese, hey again, and good morning to everybody else that's rejoining me, and good morning to the people who are just now coming in. What I was saying was, you know, I got a message as I was taking the dog out this morning. Anyway, when I took her outside, she was stretching and doing all that kind of stuff. But what I was saying earlier was that it is the responsibility of the person that is assisting you, or, you know, taking care of you or whatever, which would in our case be God. And so what he's going to do is he's going to feed us. He's going to make sure we have the things that we need in order for us to function here on this earth. And when I took the dog out, I was using, not saying that people are dogs, but using the dog as an example of, you know, there are certain times when you need to be doing certain things, and we'll go out there and be playing. So this morning, me as the dog owner took the dog outside, and dog stretching and doing all kind of other stuff. We came out here to use the bathroom. We on a mission here because I got work to do. And so with that being said, what I thought about was, in the spirit, there are times when it's time for us to eat and we're not being fed. There are times when it's time for us to go to the water, get the water, and we're not going to the water, or we don't know where to get the water. And God will show us where to get the water, just like I would my dog. There are times when you got to trust God with what he gave you. And so this is my whole point. There are things that he has put in place for you, for your life, for what you have to go through. And a lot of times we fail at it because we don't want to do what it is we need to do. We're fearful of what it is we need to be doing. We don't want to move, you know. And then, like I said, I'm out there trying to take the dog. We on an assignment, ma'am, and you out here want to stretch, and you know you need about 15 minutes, look like, to wake up or whatever. Sometimes you got to move. And so a lot of us, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of us still have our anointings. Some of us use it, some of us don't. It hasn't been taken away or like hidden in all of us. Some of us know what we're supposed to be doing, but when it's time for that assignment, that is when we want to go and be stretching and be trying to figure out, you know, how can I get comfortable? I really don't want to do this. I fear this, you know. And like I said, I'm not comparing you all to a dog, but I'm just showing you how when it's time for the assignment, it's time for us to do what we have to do, we don't have time for that. And so in 2018, I'm already seeing some of y'all not understanding that God has called you to a higher level. You can't do what you did in 2017. You're not going to be able to walk the same way you walk, talk, have the same friends, be at the same church, do some of the same things. You're not going to be able to do that because God is calling forth the people that he had placed this anointing in. He's already been calling your name. Like this morning when I'm calling kids, she's taking her time trying to come. She might not come. You know, that kind of stuff. He's already calling our names. He's already put us in a situation to where, you know, he expects something out of us. And so here I am expecting something out of her, and she just serious about, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. We can't do that in 2018. We're missing too many of our blessings, and too many of our situations and prayers are not being answered because of our disobedience. So we can't afford to. And so I think it's better for us to recognize this in January than sit up here and wait to February, March, June, July, and then the year be done, you know, came out, in 2019 be coming in, before we realize that this anointing that you have is a gift from God. And if you don't use the anointing that God has placed inside of you, and you sit here and you let other people control you like you some kind of puppet, the only master you have is God. The only master that should be controlling you, that's speaking to you, that should be moving you, is God. See, what man will do will try to accommodate their schedule. Man will try to accommodate whatever it is they need. And you may get called on based on their needs. I'm just telling you, their needs. But when God calls you to do something, you cannot put him second. You cannot put him on the back burner. You cannot tell him you'll do it later. Or you cannot say, well, Lord, I don't know. Because guess what he's going to do when you tell him you don't know what it is you're supposed to be doing or how to do what it is? He's going to open up a door for you. And so it's okay to tell him that you don't know something. That part is okay. But when you tell him that, you got to expect that God is going to make a way and move on your behalf, because of the fact that you don't know something and he's called you to do something. He's not going to let you be lost, blind, foolish out there, or leave you lonely. He's going to make a way for you to get what it is that you need to get so that you could do what he called you to do. And so 2018 has started. We're in our second week, going into the third, coming out, about second week going to the third. And so some of us have already started slacking, stretching, don't want to move. We looking in 2017, either comparing what happened then versus now. We don't have time. We don't have time. People are now dropping, to me, like, clothes, like dropping off just dropping, like they say, dropping like flies. But then they will be dead flies. People are just dropping. Seriously, they're like, time is winding up, and people need your anointing. See, again, you keep thinking about yourself and fearing what people who may not need your anointing or may need your anointing. You keep worried about what they thinking about, what they gonna be saying or whatever. And it's some people out here that need to hear from you. It's some people that need whatever it is that God placed inside of you. And so the longer you procrastinate, the longer it is that these people have to suffer. So then what God does is he's not going to allow his people to suffer. He's just going to put somebody else in that position. And I would hate to be promoted to be demoted. Like, that is just not what my life, I want to set my life up as. I don't want to get to a place where God actually handpicks me, and then I get in a position where I'm asking questions. Folks, they ain't answering my questions. I'm trying to get to where God called me to be, and I can't get there because I'm waiting on somebody to open up the door for opportunity. Then God says, I'll open up an opportunity for you, send you to somebody else, let somebody else see it. And so when that eye opens up, then you can't keep coming up with excuses. You can't keep coming up, because I'm out there with kids and she's stretching first, and then the next thing she do, she got to walk around and sniff. And I'm like, okay, we came out here to do something. We came out here to use the bathroom. You see what I'm saying? We came out here we're on an assignment here. So that I could get to work. So I just need y'all to know that when God calls you, you can't be playing around. You don't have time.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome for Bliss.
Good morning. I'm going through the gate.
Have a great day, Sergeant Major.
You too. Appreciate you.
So I'm getting ready to go in here to my workplace, but I just pray that if you missed the video, you'll go back and watch it. Because again, we don't have time. We don't have time to play. Like, God didn't place this anointing in us for us to keep on, and then we're gonna see how many years we can do it. Some of y'all friends and family members have taken their anointings, their gifts to the grave. Some of y'all didn't even know they could sing until last year, and y'all been in the family with each other for 20, 30 years. So you see what I'm saying? Like, we just play around a lot of times, and we think we got a lot of time. But I speak to you today and say that you need to get up off your feet and get up out of your fear and get into a spirit of, I will do whatever God called me to do. And you can do all things through Christ. So you don't have any excuses. You go on and be great and let God use you, because your anointing comes from God. And so if you don't use what he gave you, that's like telling the most, no, it's not like telling, it is telling the Most High that I appreciate your gift, but I'm not going to use it.